Okay guys, what we're going to do now is have a quick look at the launching and landing through waves. I see this a lot of times with people walking backwards into a wave. You don't know what you're going to face, you know, and having an absolute nightmare, or the scissor effect, or just getting absolutely worked on the shore dump. Okay, so I always recommend when you're walking into waves is carry it like so. Now this can be dangerous because if you're low to the wave can take the kit and give you that scissor effect. But what we can do is throw our hands up in the air, throw our hands up in the air. Okay, I can lift the kit up really high. As long as I use the wind, I'm doing it with one finger and I'm just lifting that kit up really high. Now, when you're ready to launch, first thing to do is just work out what the sets are doing. Make sure you don't go on a big set if it's a big beach break. Okay, wait for your wave, and as you're walking, lift your kit up high. Okay, and make sure it goes over the top of that wave. So that's, again, not having it too low, because then the wave will come and squash you backwards. It's lifting it up high. Okay, so just make sure that kit's nice and high, and you can use the wind to lift the kit for you, and then you can get it over the first wave. And then as soon as you go over, quick, you know, lay the kit down, grab your kit, and then boom, and go. Straight away, no messing about. The thing with the waves is you haven't got time to flap around, okay? It's all about just getting out there straight away. It's none of that like, oh, checking my hair, you know, washing my feet off. It's straight out there and get out amongst it all. Right, okay, now we're gonna have a quick look at the situation where if we've got our board down, we've got over one wave, and then suddenly we're a bit late and there's a wave coming. Now, waves are powerful, okay? You're in control, don't let the kit overpower you. Now, if I'm facing a wave, first things first, if I'm launching on rocks, I make sure my feet are comfortable, okay? You don't want to be on your tiptoes as a wave comes, because of course there's power there. So I always have a nice wide stance. I actually bend my knees and get ready like I'm pushing, like in a scrum towards the wave. Now, what I do is I put my back arm onto the boom like so it locks it out, and it actually physically pushes the board into the wave. And now my front arm goes onto the mast. Now, the reason I keep my hand onto the mast, that if the wave does take the board, it's a pivot point, so I've got full control, and I keep that sail nice and high. Now, on a situation like this, okay, if I walk and push the board towards the wave, and have the angle is very important. Now, if the wind's blowing this way, okay, from there, the board's gonna naturally wanna go that way anyway, and also the wave's gonna wanna take it that way. So what I do is start slightly into wind. So I'm not dead straight to the wave, I'm just slightly into wind, that close haul effect again. And then from there, once I get over and I push the board through the wave, I can then bear away, beach start, and away I go. So as the wave's coming, I always just kind of, you can see my arm just pushing against there, and I'm walking towards the wave, and the wave's coming towards me. Okay, and I can push the board through the wave like so. So remember that nice big stance like that arm there, and I rest my arm like so. Okay, and just make sure you're always upwind of the equipment and the board's slightly into wind. Now that's a little bit of a top tip for getting out through the shore dump. Now sailing's the same. Sailing, when you're sailing, if the wave's breaking, okay, you're looking for that flat section if you're just trying to get out back. So you can always bear away, and now not enough people do this on wave kit. We need to bear away, okay, because the boards are small, that's how they get going. So bear away, don't be shy to build up speed. The more speed we go, the faster we're going, and the more speed we have, the easier it is to climb that hill and get over that hill. Okay, so we want to look at the wave. We want to go, right, there's my exit point. I want to bear away towards that. Or if the wave is closing out completely, I don't want to bear away, because that wave's just going to take me back to the beach. I want to do the opposite. So if I know the wave is closing out, I think, right, I'm not going to get over this. I'm going to hit it pretty much across, but just slightly upwind. So the same effect, I'm going slightly upwind, it kills the power, and then as I get over, I can then really drop and bear away, few pumps to bear away and sheet in to get going again to get me over the next one. Normally for me, if it's closing out, I'm bearing away, coming up across the wind to get over, bearing away, coming up across, so I'm zigzagging my way out, all the way out back to pick up my little beauty to ride it back in. Okay, now we're going to have a look at some situations then if you end up wiping out in front of a wave, what to do with the equipment. We've seen on the videos of what I do on the water, I'm just going to try and break it down a little bit so you can see it on the dry land here with my artificial wave. Like it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the eject button. Now, the eject button happens very, very rarely. It's a bit like a fighter pilot, really. They only want to use it once. Now, with windsurfing, there is an eject button, and that sometimes if you're doing a maneuver, you do pull the eject, but it's very, very rare. Or if you're on a wave and it's really closing out, okay, then you eject. But again, you don't really want to do that, because if you eject on a wave and you see a big wave and you forget about your kit and go under the wave, that wave is going to take your kit for a good 100 yards, maybe onto rocks or maybe onto the beach or whatever, or into someone else. Okay, so the key thing is to hold on for as long as possible. Even if you hold on and it's a big wave and it's like, ah, even if you let go, that board's then going to travel 5 meters. But if you let go straight away, it's gone. Okay, so let's have a look what we can hold on to. We can hold on to the boom's a great one, okay, the mast. Now, in a situation like this, for example, I've fallen in, okay, don't worry about your board, just like water starting, forget about your board, it's all about trying to get the sail in the right position. Now, in a situation like this, it's already too late. I'm swimming here, first things first, I need to get out of this danger zone, okay, because what's gonna happen, the wave's gonna come forward and it's gonna throw the kit onto me. Now, you never want to be downwind of the kit or in front of the kit as the wave's coming. So in a situation like this, I know that the sail, the clue, the wave's going to take the clue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hand there, because I know the sail's going to go over me, so I've got something to hold on to when it goes. Now, I predicted the sail's going to go that way. What I'm going to do is duck under the sail as it flips over the top. So I don't know how to explain this or show this really, but as the wave comes towards me, if I can get the wave to come towards me a little bit, walk towards me, wave. There we go, it's coming, coming, coming. I know the sail's going to go that way. Okay, I'm going to go under, like so, and then I'm going to grab hold of the boom like that. Now the mast is facing into the wave. Yes, you're going to get a pull, but because you're grabbing hold of the boom, you can hold on to it for a little bit longer. Okay, I always want to make sure my mast is towards the wave. Now, if it's not, and it's downwind, what's going to happen, the wave's going to pick up the kit, and potentially then it's going to pole vault your mast into the rocks, and that's going to be potentially a broken mast. Of course, unless you got the Goya 90%, and then you've got no worries at all. So, in a situation like this, just like on a surfboard or anything, or even if you're swimming, we want to go deep. Now, if I'm just falling in on waves like this, all I'm going to do is again get that hand onto the boom so I can hold on to it when the wave pulls me, and I'm going to just bury the mast down, and so in theory the wave will go over the top. Now, I wouldn't ever recommend holding onto your board really, because if you hold onto your board with a wave, it means the mast can do whatever it wants and it can go AWOL. Okay, and also your board's got several fins on the bottom. Okay, so that's potentially could slice you or anything like that. I heard a story yesterday from Bart, local guy in the Canaries. He showed me this savage scar across his leg, and that's because he was holding onto his board and the fin just went whoosh, straight there. So forget about the board. Just like on your water starts, just concentrate on the sail and this boom. If the sail goes and the kit goes, just hold on to your boom, make sure you're nice and soft, and you can just hold on to the sail and just let it go. And then once you finish that beating, have a look around. If it's a big set, just make sure the sail's in the right position so you can take the set. Okay, and then when you've got time, that's when you want to get the sail up and flying straight away, and either get towards the beach or get back out there. But you know, if you're in the breaking point and you're right in the middle of it, sometimes it's better to go back towards the beach to get a better run up to get out there. If you've never done this, I'd highly recommend it next time you go to a place with beach, and do a bit of body surfing, or body bashing, how me and Mr. Bailey used to call it back in the day, or body surfing. Now, the wave's just going to pick you up and you're just going to cruise even faster. So what you could do is the opposite and go, oh, there's a wave, go under and push yourself out to sea where your kit's over there, or you can see the wave, start swimming, and as it starts to pick you up, then just make yourself nice and long and just body surf all the way back to your kit. Use the wave to your advantage. It will pick you up, and if you're really good, you can sometimes play it on your chest. Now, with a belly like me, I have no problems at all. I'm flying along the wave. Now, it takes me to my kit, okay, instead of swimming. So use the wave to your advantage. Do a bit of body surfing, it's good fun. And a really good tip, if you're ever scared of waves, relax. Don't tense up, relax, and go out and do what we call body bashing. It's great fun, like body surfing, but instead of trying to surf, we're going to go over the falls and then we're going to get rumbled. But the key point to this is to relax, okay? It's just like a washing machine, just let it do its thing and then just pop up at the end of it. Okay, so some of the problem is actually coming in on the wave. What you want to do when it's quite big is try and ride it up the beach as far as possible and then jump off and get your kit out of the way as soon as possible. And the key is, again, is keeping the sail out of the water. Now, as you can see here, if you can imagine, I'm riding on the lip of the wave, and that's going to break, and that's going to break quite shallow. So I just want to play around on the white water. I want to make sure my kit's up into wind when I jump off a little bit, okay? Because if it's downwind, I've got potentially the sail getting ripped out of my hands. So if I bring the board slightly up into wind on a close fall, it's going to be much easier for me to jump off. So as I'm riding this wave, I'm going to step over it, okay? And then from here, I'm going to jump off. Now, as soon as you jump off, keep your hand up near the pivot point, okay? And a really good thing to do is grab the back of your board. Now, by grabbing the back of your board, it means that you've got full control. If you don't grab the back of the board, the wave could maybe potentially take the board downwind, or it could all end in tears. And just make sure, see the clue's quite low at the moment. Now, the problem is if the wave catches that, it's got potentially pulling the sail under. So I want to just make sure that clue always stays out the way and it's got nice clear air, so it's easy for me to handle. This is also another great thing to do. Once you finish that and you're coming in for a quick break and you know that you're going to go back out, don't lay your kit like this, because you're going to get one side of your boom sandy, and that's going to be the opposite side that we're going to go out on, like sailing off after our little break. So a really good thing to do is, as you've hit the beach and you're ready to lay your kit down, just pop the clue off downwind, okay, and just grab your board and let the sail pivot, and you can do so. Now, basically like this, the board's facing the water, so I'm always going to be walking forwards, never walking backwards. That's a no-go, okay? And also the bonus about this is only one side of my boom is sandy. So that means that when I'm walking in, I can quickly ditch my kit into the water, give it a quick clean, and then straight away, once I've got over this wave, I can go out and go. Okay, it's really nightmare if you go out in big waves and you're out there and then you do a jibe and suddenly your whole boom's just full of sand. Definitely if you don't want to get your hair wet. So a really good top tip, guys, is as you're coming into the beach, lay your kit down like you're going back out, if you're going back out. Now, if you're coming in for the day, that's no problem at all, but this is just a situation if you're going back out, just saves you washing your kit, because basically in big waves, you don't want to be flapping around with a sail trying to wash the sand off your sail. So that you just dunk it in, give it a quick rinse, and then whoo, adios amigos. Okay, perfect, thank you.